Hey y'all, welcome back to my kitchen. Today I am answering one of my emails from y'all. Debbie, who lives in New York City, says my husband and I cannot eat an entire turkey, do the entire dressing, all the sides and such. Our apartment is too small, our kitchen will not hold all that, plus the two of us would never eat it all. Can you suggest what we could do for a small Thanksgiving dinner in our little New York apartment? I can, Debbie. Instead of getting a turkey, you can sometimes get a smaller turkey, but they are large. We're going to do one with just chicken breasts. I have 3 chicken breasts here. I'm going to show you how to put this together. Now, you're probably not going to make your own homemade stuffing. You probably don't have the bread, the cornbread, all that stuff stored up in the freezer. You can get the Pepperidge Farm already prepared stuffing mix. This one is 12 ounces for $2.99. I could not believe when I went and bought this. I used to get the big bag of it for like $1.50, $2. Prices are crazy. Okay, so for 2 of you, this is a 12 ounce. I'm just going to use half of it, half the bag. And we're going to save this other half because I have another recipe I'm going to show you later on, and you could also do that. So we're going to take the stuffing mix. We're going to put in, this is just Holy Trinity mix, peppers, onions, and green peppers. Green peppers, onions, and celery. Get it right, Holy Trinity. I also bought this in a little container at the grocery store. It's already chopped up, so you don't have to buy all of it, a whole thing of celery because you may not use it all the onions and peppers like that. So you can get this. I'm doing this exactly how I would do it if I was in a little place and I didn't have all the storage. This is already pre-cut up and just enough for me. So there's about a cup of there, so maybe a third a cup onion, third a cup of pepper, third a cup of celery if you are going to be doing it yourself. Put that over there. And I'm going to use about 3/4 to a cup of chicken stock. I'm using my homemade chicken stock. You can buy it's already in a can or in a box. It smells so good. And I'm going to use just about 3/4 to a cup. I just want to moisten this up a little bit and get it starting to reconstitute, because we don't want it to be dry and put in here with the soup and the milk mixture, because it will absorb all that and it'll end up very dry. So we want this kind of moist. I probably used about a cup of, maybe a little bit more of stock. Now you could go right at this point. It's already got seasonings in that. If you're using your dried breadcrumbs and everything, I'll put my homemade stuffing mix down below, or if you call it dressing, some people call it dressing, some people call it stuffing. I'll put that down below too if you want to use your own homemade like I do. I'm gonna set this aside. I am gonna put an apple in here. I just like the flavor, the sweetness the apple adds to dressings or stuffings. I've already washed it. I'm not going to peel it. I like the peel on it. Plus it adds a little color. We're just going to dice these in about 1/2 inch to 3/4 inch pieces. Okay. You just put those in the stuffing as well. I just think it adds a nice little flavor to it. And apples are plentiful right now. You can buy them 1 or 2 a piece at the store. And so, Debbie, this is something you could add in there, just to add a little bit of flavor and texture. Get these all in. Now, before anybody yells at me, because I don't have a towel under my cutting board, these have rubber legs on them. They do not move. So they're perfect for this. If I was just using a regular cutting board or a wood cutting board, yes, I would put a wet wash rag or towel underneath it. For those of you who don't know, that just keeps it from slipping, and it can slide easily when you're cutting something. And these knives, they should be sharp, and you can cut yourself. Actually, if it's a dull knife, you can cut yourself a lot easier too. Get that in there. And the last one. But like I said, this is totally optional. You can use an apple, you could use a pear, you could use dried cranberries. If you like fruit in your dressing or stuffing, whatever you want to call it, you can just add whatever you like in there. So I'll put that all in there. Get that mixed together. Looks like my chicken stock's about gone. It's all being absorbed by the breadcrumbs. Okay. I'm going to set this aside. And I'm going to get my chicken. Now, I was going to remind you, if you don't have chicken stock, you don't want to buy a whole box of it because you won't use it. You can get this better than bouillon. I use it all the time. There's all kinds. I got the roast beef. This is the chicken, garlic, onion. There's all kinds. And this is really good. All you got to do is about a teaspoon full of it and 8 ounces of boiling water. And it mixes real well. So let me get this over here out of the way, the chicken stock. Save that for later for another recipe. I am going to take my chicken now. These are some big chicken breasts. I don't know what they feed these chickens and stuff they put in them, but this isn't the size a chicken breast should be. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take and put some cuts down into it, about 1/2 inch, 3/4 of an inch. This will not only help it cook quicker, but it's also going to put my seasonings down in there. Now, usually I use salt, pepper, garlic powder, some paprika, different things to season the meat. Let me turn this on to get it started. Put a little oil in here because we're going to brown the chicken. But I decided, since you may not have all those spices, Debbie, you can grab this. It's just poultry seasoning, Southern blend. And I've already touched my hand on that one. So let's try to do this. I don't want to try to keep this in the dirty hand. Just season the meat and open up those little cuts and get some down in there. It's going to add flavor, like I said, but it's also going to help cook a little quicker because the heat can penetrate down in there. And turn it over. And I am going to cut off this piece of fat. We don't need that in there. Okay. So keeping this hand clean, as good as possible. I'm going to scoot this one over, get out another chicken breast, which is going to do the same thing to all 3 of these. Cut off that fat piece there. Now, if you have regular sized chicken breasts that aren't 3 inches thick, you don't have to do this. I just like to do it just to cook a little better and get these seasonings down in there, flavors it more too. Get the oil burning. And the last one. Get rid of this bag. Get rid of that, excuse me, fat. Now, if you want, you don't have to brown the chicken first. I'll get that off my cutting board or my butcher block. You don't have to brown it first. I always think it adds more flavor if you brown the meat before you bake it. But you can bake it perfectly fine this way. One thing I found, if you're just baking it and you're not browning it so it doesn't look so pale, put some paprika on top. Paprika will give it that kind of cooked look, like it's been grilled a little bit or browned. Okay, that seems a little hot. So let's just put these in there. A little bit more in here. There we go. And Deborah, if you haven't been cooking a lot, like you said, and you're trying to learn, the reason I'm keeping one hand clean and the other that touch the chicken is you want to make sure you don't spread salmonella that could be in the chicken. So always try not to, whatever you touch with this hand, don't touch everything else. I'm going to get this stuff out of the way. Okay. Now I've got a 9x13 pan that I'm going to use. I'm going to let that brown. I don't want that high. Now, I'm using cream of chicken soup. I usually make my own. but I make about 3 or 4 of them at a time, so that'd be a little much for you. You can use cream of chicken, you can use cream of celery, cream of mushroom, cream of bacon I've used before. We're just going to make a kind of like a gravy that's going to go over this. Get all that goodness out of there. And I'm going to put about 2/3 cup of milk. And just bring that all together. Oops, because I'm making a mess. Get some tongs. Got some good color on that. It's going to add good flavor. Could have used a bigger pan, but these chicken breasts are crazy. These are about the size of a turkey breast. Okay, let them continue cooking. I'm going to clean up my mess a little bit here. Okay, I don't know if you guys have seen these for opening your canned goods. One of you guys sent those to me. It's pry lid. You can't buy them anymore. They don't make them. Like order into a store or anything. Get them on eBay. I've seen them on eBay. I never had one. My grandma Jean had one of these. I loved it and mentioned it in one of my videos a long time ago. And somebody sent this to me. So look on eBay. Actually, I saved the paper that it came on, little cardboard. And that's exactly how it came, just like that. It's called pry lid. So check out eBay. I mean, these are great. They don't bend your lids. They don't put little dents in them or anything. All right, let's get the chicken. It is just about browned. I want to spray this pan. Just keep everything from sticking to it. All right, now we're going to take the turkey. I'm telling you, these things look like turkey breasts. These big old chicken breasts. I'm just going to lay them in the pan. And you could usually put 4 to 6 chicken breasts, but like I said, these are massive. It scares me what they're feeding these chickens to get them so big that we're putting in us. So I can't wait to get on my farm and raise my own. Let me get this off the heat. So we got the chicken laid out in the bottom. We're going to pour the soup mixture and the milk right over top of it. I just put a little bit on each one and just pour the rest out. There you go. Then we're going to get the stuffing, and we're going to spoon this all on top and around. And you know what? Like I always say, my hand's the best in here. I just washed it. Y'all saw me wash it. This is the easiest part because I want to put some right on top of the chicken. Get some of those flavors that's in the chicken that I seasoned with into the stuffing, and some of the seasonings from the stuffing down into the chicken. Whoops. Stuffing overboard. And just take the extra stuffing and lay along the sides of it. All right, pretty good. Let me wash my hands again. Now I've got the oven, I think you heard it a second ago, it's heated up. It just preheated to 400 degrees. We're going to bake this at 400 degrees for about 20 minutes. And then we're going to uncover it and cook it another 25 minutes. You want to make sure that the temperature of your chicken is at least 165 degrees. So if you don't have a meat thermometer, cut into it, make sure it's not pink. But it's always good to have a meat thermometer. I hate new boxes of this stuff because it always just tears. Kind of like tearing tape. You don't get all the pieces together. Doo-doo-doo-doo. Oh my gosh, it's working for me. Great. Now, let me show you another trick. If you ever went, especially when it's a little bit empty and you go to pull it and the whole roll comes out. I did not know this till someone showed me about 2 years ago. There's little things you can push in on each side of this box. Oops. And that holds the tube in there. It's not going to fall out. Crazy. Never knew that. So we're going to cover it. And like I said, I'm going to put it in the oven, 400 degrees, already preheated, 20 minutes. Then I'm going to uncover it, cook another 20, 25 minutes. Make sure it gets to 165 at least on the chicken. So I'll see you in a little bit. It's going to be just a second for you. It's going to be about an hour for me. Okay, y'all, we're back. I just got this out of the oven. These things actually, instead of cooking 20 minutes covered and 25 minutes uncovered, they cooked about 35 minutes uncovered. I've just been checking the temperature to make sure they're at least 165. I'm at about 170 to 178. So we're good. You just want to make sure it's over 165 so you don't have any chance of salmonella poisoning. I'll put this up. And let's see, I'm going to have to get me a little light out here. I'm going to taste this. It is bubbly hot. Let me taste the stuffing first. Oh, got some apple in there. That's delicious. The creaminess of the soup with the dressing, that's real good. Now I'm going to get a piece of the chicken. It's nice and moist. Oh my gosh, look at all that steam coming off there. I'll cut a little piece off of there. Oh, dripping on me. Great flavor. All those seasonings are down into the chicken. Soup mix, nice and creamy. This is delicious. So Deborah, you can do this with chicken breast. You can even go to Whole Foods or Market there in New York and get one turkey breast. That's all you need. And you can put it across here. You can even cut it up a little bit if you want slices so it's not as thick. Like I said, these chicken breasts are crazy big. So usually the ones I would use would be a little smaller. I had about 4 to 6 in here. But with this one, I had these 3, so that's what I used. So give this a try. It's real easy. I'll have the recipe down in the description box below, and I'll have it at my website, gregs-kitchen.com, so you guys can print it out there. If you have any questions, please leave them down below. Thank you so much for subscribing to my channel. If you haven't already, hit the subscribe button and the bell so you'll know when I post a new video. And please, please, please give it a thumbs up like on there. It helps get out to everybody on YouTube. Again, thank you for joining my kitchen. I feel blessed. Have a great day. Bye-bye.